dangerous and on the run. Police turn up the heat on a man wanted for robbing nearly 24 businesses.
A family pet dashes off into the woods and doesn't come home. Now his family members are wondering who shot and killed him.
So the first snow of the season today, but the bigger story tonight is the cold. Temperatures going well below freezing. And tomorrow doesn't look a lot better.
An unforgettable birth. What makes the arrival of this newborn so special today?
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 5 starts right now. We begin right away with some breaking news. An arrest in the murder of a pregnant Nantucket woman nearly 3 years after she was killed on Cape Cod. Good evening to you, and thanks for being with us. I'm Johnathan, Eilias.
I'm Paula. Ebben, the man police arrested was very close to Trudy Hall. Lisa Hughes is here now, and Lisa, he was the father of her unborn baby.
Well, Paula, prosecutors believe that actually played a role in this crime. A grand jury just indicted Quazell Wilson on motor charges. This is some earlier video of him trying to avoid our cameras. He's been under investigation for some time. Trudy Hall vanished in July of 2010. Her mother called Yarmouth police and reported her missing. And a day later, Barnstable police found Hall's rental car. Her remains were found last year in Falmouth. Police say she'd been shot. Her mother told us she long believed that Quazell Wilson knew more than he was saying.
And I don't want them to make an arrest, just an arrest. I need a conviction. Because somebody needs to pay for what they have done to her.
Now, we spoke with the district attorney, Michael O'Keefe, just a few minutes ago.
The first call I made was to Mrs. Walker, Trudy's mother. And, she's doing as well as can be expected under these circumstances. And I just hope that this small step in the process provides some measure of peace to her.
Well, officers took Wilson into custody today in Chelsea. He's being held without bail. He will face a judge in Barnstable Superior Court. Trudy Hall was 23 years old. Paul, Johnathan?
All right, Lisa, thank you. Well, we knew it was coming, but still, a few of us were happy to see the snowflakes falling this morning.
Yeah, the cold temperatures turned rain into snow overnight, and it wasn't really sticking, but don't tell that to the drivers who were waiting in traffic. The burst of snow was just an appetizer for winter. Some people don't even want to think about the months of shoveling we have coming up straight ahead.
Nobody wants to think about shoveling. Kids, though, they love it. Mike Foley posted this clip on YouTube. Shows some kids out sledding in Hubbardston. Our chief meteorologist, Eric Fisher, he was out sledding as well. He joins us now tonight with a first look at your forecast. And Eric, no more snow for a little bit, right?
I know we're done for a while here. You gotta love the joy of a child. So many people were posting pictures and video of their kids who were just ear to ear with the grins today. A blizzard it was not. Most of the snow totals an inch or less. And Marston Mills, one of the winners, at 1.3 total inches, and mainly on the grassy surfaces. The snow is just leaving Nantucket right now, moving off to the south and east. So we are done with it for this evening. The clearing line is moving in. That's been providing a fantastic sunset out there. Wind chill values, it is just like midwinter. 25 in Boston, 19 is the wind chill in Worcester, Nashua at 26 degrees, so a very chilly evening. If you have to spend some time outdoors, you want to bundle up. We'll be clearing gradually from northwest to southeast. Wind chill values falling into the teens. Temperatures falling into the low 20s. We've got one more wintry day, and then some big changes. We'll talk about that, share some of the great pictures from today coming up. Paula?
All right, Art, thanks. Well, we're following a developing story tonight. Cambridge police turning up the heat on a man who's been robbing convenience stores, and he hit again last night. Officers have been searching for this guy for months.
Yeah, police just wrapped up a news conference releasing new information about this guy. Bobby Sisk joining us live in Cambridge tonight. What do they know, Bobby?
Well, Johnathan and Paula, police in 5 different cities have been tracking this guy for 10 months now. They've connected him to more than 20 armed robberies at convenience stores. The first one was in Lynn, and that was back in February. Let's take a look at some video here. This is the clearest shot, most recent from last night, a quick food mart on Cambridge Street at Ebben Square. This surveillance pic does show the clearest yet of the man's face. The guy walked in just after 9 and demanded cash. He pulled up his sweatshirt to show the clerk he had a handgun, possibly a revolver. There's video of him as well. We have some from a robbery in Chelsea. Now, so far, he hasn't hurt anyone, but police are worried that will change.
We don't know what's going to happen if someone comes in and surprises this guy. So right now, he's being very careful, but who knows? If someone comes in, startles him, he does have a firearm, there's no guarantee that he would use it, but for everyone's safety, we need to get this guy behind bars.
And take a look at the map here. Police are working with detectives in Boston, Everett, Chelsea, and Lynn. The Cambridge police are, again, all of the robberies have been at convenience stores. And he's in and out quickly. Last night, the robbery at Inman Square, the guy was in and out of that store in just more than a minute. I'm live in Cambridge tonight. WBZ News. Paula, back to you.
Bobby, thank you. Well, he was not in court, but attorneys in the Boston Marathon bombing case were arguing over how the legal process will play out for Johar Tsarnaev. We're also learning new information about when the case could begin. Our Christina Hager is live near the marathon finish line in Boston tonight. Christina?
Well, Paula, today's hearing began with what was supposed to be a discussion about the Tsarnaev's defense attorney's request to get better access to him in prison. They say there have been so many restrictions on what kind of visitors he can have that has gotten in the way of their preparing their defense. The judge didn't issue a decision on that. That ruling expected later, but today he did set some important deadlines in this case.
With this image so indelible in the minds of most people here in Boston, is it possible for this city to allow the accused marathon bomber, Johar Tsarnaev, a fair trial here? His attorneys have until the last day of February to decide if they want to have the trial moved.
I'm not sure there's a better venue for it. It may be difficult for him to get a fair trial here, but it may be difficult anywhere in the country.
Obviously, it's a strong city, and we've been through a lot, but I think that, we value, and especially in the court systems, value equality and fairness.
No matter where it happens, Tsarnaev's 3-month-long trial is now expected to begin next fall. Add on another 2 months if prosecutors go for the death penalty. U.S. Attorney Carmen Ortiz expected to weigh in on that in the next few days. But it's ultimately up to her boss, Attorney General Eric Holder.
I don't see any valid reason not to.
Legal analyst Harry Mannion.
If the Attorney General of the United States said we will be seeking the death penalty, then the case becomes more intense, more prolonged, more extensive.
The defense also asked for more information in general from prosecutors, but specifically about a 2011 triple murder in Waltham. The investigation into that could involve their client, so they want to know what prosecutors have on that. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear more on this debate about the death penalty and some interesting opinions we're getting on Twitter about whether this trial should be moved to a different city. We're live at the finish line in Boston. Christina Hager, WBZ News. Jonathan, back to you.
Christina, thank you. An elderly woman is in the hospital after she crashed her car into a building in Peabody. Sky Eye flew over the scene about 2 o'clock this afternoon. The car crashed through a brick wall at a commercial building on Essex Center Drive. Paramedics took the 87-year-old her to Leahy Clinic with some minor injuries. And Hanson firefighters, they had their hands full this morning battling this fire on Pleasant Street. It was a big one. And investigators say that the cause is very unusual. They say it was spontaneous combustion of sawdust. The sawdust had been stored in a cardboard box on the back deck. And then the fire started and spread quickly up the building into the attic. The flames, smoke, and water caused about $100,000 in damage.
Tonight, aid workers in the Philippines are struggling to reach victims of the typhoon. Now, officials say that between 2,000 and 2,500 people lost their lives in the storm, not 10,000. But as Teresa Garcia shows us, that number could increase if survivors don't get access to clean water, food, or medicine.
Survivors in hard-hit Tacloban plead for food and water and wait for help. The typhoon destroyed the area, leaving more than 600,000 people homeless.
It's so hard to be alone.
Some foreign doctors have arrived in the stricken area, but they are not nearly enough to meet the demand. At a nearby hospital, patients overwhelmed the damaged facility.
We are admitting them as much as we can because we cannot refuse them.
Workers have begun the slow process of removing the dead, and food and medicine are starting to arrive. More supplies are on their way from the U.S. military.
Included in the shipment are enough emergency shelter materials and basic hygiene supplies to help 10,000 families.
Los Angeles is home to one of the largest Filipino communities in the United States. Many here are donating clothes and other goods to raise money to send to the victims.
Babies, clothing.
Pastor Einstein Cabulteja of the Filipino Christian Church says his congregation is desperate to help.
It's about their being part of it. You can see the community society being united.
But the scope of the disaster means it's a challenge to deliver the aid to those who so desperately need it. Teresa Garcia, CBS News, Los Angeles.
If you've been trying to think of how to help the typhoon victims in the Philippines, you can just go to our website, cbsboston.com. We have links to the Red Cross and other organizations who are all mobilizing relief efforts.
Well, we should know sometime next week if Ernesto Gonzalez will be getting out of jail. Today, the man who once confessed to killing his son asked a judge to dismiss the charges against him. Prosecutors say that Gonzalez kidnapped 5-year-old Giovanni Gonzalez and then misled investigators. The boy's body has never been found. The court ruled that Gonzalez is incompetent to stand trial, and under state law, an incompetent defendant can get the charges dismissed after they spend a certain period of time in jail. And Whitey Bulger's sentencing hearing begins tomorrow. Prosecutors now are seeking a life sentence for the 84-year-old who spent 16 years out on the run before his arrest in 2011. In August, a jury convicted the Southie mobster on several charges of racketeering and said that he did play a role in 11 murders. Tomorrow, victims' families will testify. The judge is expected to sentence Bulger on Thursday. And once the sentencing hearing begins, we will be live streaming tweets from inside the courtroom on our website at cbsboston.com. And if Bulger does take the stand to testify on his own behalf, we will obviously let you know about that right away.
New tonight, Secretary of State John Kerry just swore in Caroline Kennedy as the new U.S. ambassador to Japan. The Senate confirmed the daughter of President John F. Kennedy unanimously. Kennedy says she'll try to fulfill her father's legacy as ambassador.
Could we see a casino on the Vineyard? An Indian tribe says that the federal government just gave them the green light to do so. The Wampanoag Aquina tribe says that it won federal approval to open a casino on its tribal land on Martha's Vineyard. The Globe is reporting the tribe will move ahead with plans to convert an unfinished tribal community center on the island into a temporary casino until a permanent facility can be built. And 1 week from today, people in Milford will be voting on a proposed casino project in their town. Foxwoods and other partners want to build a $1 billion, 980,000 square foot resort casino near 495 and Route 16. Now, right now, they are competing with a project in Everett for the state's Eastern Mass casino license. But Suffolk Downs says don't count them out, at least not just yet. East Boston voters rejected a proposal resort casino there, but people in Revere approved the plan. Revere's mayor and the racetrack are trying to see if the existing agreement can be altered to build a resort entirely in Revere. They plan to outline this proposal to the State Gambling Commission sometime later this week.
Coming up, lifting restrictions on wine shipments to your home. The push to do away with a ban on out-of-state deliveries.
And a Globetrotter stunt gone wrong. See what happened during this dunk. The WBZ News continues.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. We're dedicated to helping our members live happier, healthier lives.
The Peabody Essex Museum presents Impressionists on the Water with Monet, Renoir, and many more. Works inspired by your love of boating, sailing, and life along the shore. See it now.
One click on buyatoyota.com and you can find the biggest selection of Toyota inventory in New England. And then see every Toyota special offer there is, even those not seen on TV. Plus, get a free independent trade-in value in seconds. Right now, see all-wheel drive leases as low as $189 a month with 2 years, no-cost maintenance. Buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals.
We're local Massachusetts independent insurance agents who specialize in what you need at the best possible price. TrustedChoice.com. We love what we do, and you'll love what we can do for you. Visit TrustedChoice.com and tell us how we're doing and what we can do for you for the protection you need at the best possible price. TrustedChoice.com.
Representing Vermont Mutual Insurance Company and many other fine insurance companies.
TrustedChoice.com.
New season, new sandwich. Introducing Honeydew's delicious Willow Tree Cranberry Walnut Chicken Salad Sandwich. Made fresh to order with delicious ingredients from Willow Tree Farm and served on a tasty croissant. It's available for a limited time, so try one today.
You'll notice the Goya difference even before
before you taste it. Add plump and tasty Goya low-sodium beans to your favorite recipes and see for yourself. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Come on, kids, we gotta go.
Oh, now I gotta go. Oh, can you make that to go?
These days, nobody has time to get sick, but MinuteClinic makes it easy to get well. Our nurse practitioners can diagnose and write prescriptions for everything from strep throat to sinus infections with no appointment necessary, so you can feel better in no time.
You guys wanna go to the park? Yeah!
MinuteClinic, the medical clinic in CVS Pharmacy. Accepts Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Find a clinic near you at MinuteClinic.com.
The Peabody Essex Museum presents Impressionists on the Water with Monet, Renoir, and many more. Works inspired by your love of boating, sailing, and life along the shore. See it now.
Tonight, a shocking case of animal cruelty. A New Hampshire family. They discovered that their pet dog, Diablo, had been shot to death just about a half mile away from their own home.
As New Hampshire Bureau Chief Michael Rosenfield shows us, police have very few leads.
He was 10 years old, a smooth fox terrier, and had been with the Wheeler family since he was just 8 weeks. His name was Diablo.
He was our family. He was our little boy we never had.
Sandra Wheeler was with Diablo and her grandkids in the backyard, and Diablo suddenly got frightened and ran into the woods.
And this particular day, he just decided, off he went, and he just took off. And I grabbed my grandsons and I ran as fast as I could through the woods, calling and calling, and he wouldn't stop. He just kept going.
After Diablo disappeared on Friday, the Wheelers searched for 2 days. They placed flyers all around town and posted his picture online. A neighbor eventually found him in the woods 2 days later.
But where he was found, he was almost home. He was almost home. And all I can do is look at his little face that we posted all over this town. And that little face said, "Mama, I'm almost home."
Diablo had been shot in the chest. The family's backyard borders hundreds of acres of conservation land. Police say the area is popular with hunters, but can't tell what kind of gun was used.
I'm thinking someone was out there, saw the dog, and either shot it because they didn't like the dog or shot it because they might have thought it was something else.
The Wheelers, traumatized by their loss, have buried Diablo in the backyard and wait for answers.
I want to know the truth because that was our little boy out there for 2 days in the cold. I want to know when you did it. Why?
In Boscawen, New Hampshire, Michael Rosenfield, WBZ News.
Police are trying to come up with reward money, hoping it will bring leads to help find out who is responsible for the dog's death.
Hopefully they figure that one out. Well, a lot of us woke up this morning seeing something we haven't seen in a while. Kind of an old friend that you don't necessarily want to see.
That
weird cousin you just showed
Yeah, just that crazy cousin showed up again.
Yeah, some snowflakes flying as early as last night out in the Berkshires. Been sending in great pictures. Take a look at some of these coming in. This one from Savoy. Dwayne sent that one in out toward Western Mass near the New York border. Snow flying in the wind last night as that front was crashing through. I love this picture. I wonder how long it took to comb up all that snow in Sagamore Beach. Scott sent this one in with a little daughter right next to a snowman, maybe the first of the year showing up. And we go from snow to sunsets. Tonight, beautiful outside as the clearing line has been moving in. This picture is sent in from Maria. She is working in the Prudential. This is the view from the Prue. Beautiful sky on fire. It seems like we can't miss lately. The sunsets have been perfect. The snow is now gone. It's just moved southeast of Nantucket. The last spot to see the snowflakes flying, coating the ground there. And you notice this clearing line that's also moving in. And slowly tonight, that will continue to settle off toward the south and east. It's all clear behind that. The lake effect machine is cranking out across the Great Lakes as that cold air moves over the relatively warmer water. Still some breezy conditions. It's between 10 and at most 25 miles per hour, but when it's this cold, that adds in the wind chill. It feels like 19 in Worcester right now, 25 in Boston and Taunton, 27 in Falmouth. So if you're heading out this evening, of course, you want to bundle up. As midwinter cold, temperatures will slide back in the low 20s. Some of the suburbs north and west of Boston could look at the teens. Certainly the wind chill will be in the teens, and it will stay breezy for most of the night tonight. We'll see that starlight moving in from northwest to southeast. Overnight lows, 18 in Fitchburg, Keene down to 17 degrees, about 19 on the Hill in Worcester, 21 in Taunton and Chatham, down to about 29 in Boston. They haven't been in the 20s in a long time. All the way back to March, you'd have to go. So tomorrow morning, lots of layers at the bus stop. If you're going for a run in the morning, lots of layers as well. Talking about the low 20s to start things off. The good thing about tomorrow, the fact that we'll see the sun. The bad thing, it's rather ineffective sunshine tomorrow. Mid-30s at lunchtime, breezy out of the northwest. And as we head toward the evening commute, those temperatures will start to fall again. Low to mid-30s as you head on home. Now, in Boston, we haven't had a day that stayed in the 30s since all the way back on the first full day of spring. That was March 21st. Yes, this is interesting territory. It's the normal high for early January, and that is what we expect tomorrow. If you're not into this whole cold thing, you don't have to wait too long. Low 50s for Thursday. Friday's looking good, the mid to upper 50s. We'll talk more about that in the weekend coming up next half hour. Jonathan?
All right, Eric, we'll see you in a bit. Thanks. After a week of relaxation, the Patriots now, do they relax? I guess they do. They're getting ready for the big game against the Carolina Panthers.
So Pat played Monday in Charlotte. Today, quarterback Tom Brady spoke about what his team needs to do to win now. Steve Burton is here, back from vacation.
Back from vacation, yes. The Patriots are, not me.
Yeah, no.
The Panthers are on fire.
Oh, they are. There's no question about it. I just came from Foxborough. And the Patriots are rested, fired up, and ready to go. And they are going to have to be because they have a huge test on Monday night in Carolina. The Panthers, well, they are scorching hot. They haven't lost in over a month. Patriots were back at practice in Foxborough today, gearing up for a Carolina team that is playing great. They've won 5 in a row. Tom Brady said they need to execute well in every area to win. And he's looking forward to that bright lights of Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football is, we don't have many of those. This is our only one this year, so it'll be a fun night. It'll be a great atmosphere down there for football. So they're gonna be fired up. We're fired up. That's what it should be as football in November. And one of the best teams in the NFC playing right now. They won 5 straight. They're playing well on offense, playing well on defense. They're a good special team. So we feel like we got a pretty good team. So we'll see how it turns out.
By the way, the Pats and Panthers played in Super Bowl 38 after the 2003 season. Carolina only has 2 players left from that team. That's the Patriots. They only have 1, and that is Tom Terrific.
I love how he says we have a pretty good team.
Oh, he's humble.
The last game they played, they just...
Yeah, I know they did.
All right. Steve, thanks.
Okay. All right, Steve, thanks so much. And hey, we want to send a quick congratulations to our radio partners, 98.5 The Sports Hub, who just announced multi-year contract extensions for Fred Tutcher and Rich Sherton-Leave, the co-hosts of the Tutcher and Rich Morning Show. The Sports Hub is the flagship station of the New England Patriots, the Boston Bruins, the Boston Celtics, and the Patriots.
How about this one? The Harlem Globetrotters are well known for their high-flying tricks on the basketball court, but one stunt kind of backfired. See, the team was playing in Honduras when Bull Bullard went up to dunk and alley-oop. Look at this. Watch closely. Hanging just a little too long. That could have gotten ugly. It fell right on top of him. Now, the backboard shattered when it hit the ground. Bull is okay. And look what he does when he gets up. He riles the crowd in typical fashion.
I think they're relieved to see him give that wave. He is so lucky.
Wow.
That missed his
That'll teach him to let go just a little sooner.
A battle over the tallest building in the U.S.
And tonight, a decision has been reached. Is it New York or Chicago with bragging rights? We'll tell you.
And doubling the number of Americans on cholesterol-lowering drugs. Why doctors may prescribe statins for millions more. And now here are Jack and Lisa with a look at what's ahead at 6.
All right, thank you very much, Paula and Johnathan. A big announcement on Mayor Tom Menino's future, and it's the story that WBZ broke.
New at 6 o'clock, the mayor's plans to join one of Boston's most prestigious universities once he leaves City Hall.
Hey, how about getting a free ride at the tolls? Believe it or not, it's a perk for hundreds of Mass DOT workers.
And they're cashing in even after they leave the agency. New at 6, how much this benefit is costing all of us.
When you wake up in the morning, one of the first things you need to know is what's the weather going to be like, what you should wear, how you should dress the kids.
It looks like a chilly one today, Tom.
Yeah, Karen, you'll really have to bundle up the kids at the bus stop this morning. You know, we're always visiting local schools, teaching kids about weather. What is 32 degrees Fahrenheit mean? So many teachers, so many parents come up to us and say, you're a big part of our morning routine. And that's what I really love about doing this. You guys are so awesome. Look at this.
Start the day together with Todd Gunner. Mornings on WBZ News. Skiers! It's the Boston.com Ski and Snowboard Expo presented by Subaru of New England.
Save on ski and snowboard gear.
Ski passes and trips.
Catch the Olympic Air Show in Long Trail Beer Garden.
Ski and Snowboard Expo, November 14th through 17th at the World Trade Center. Tickets at onthesnow.com.
A great smile is affordable at General Dental. We've got unbeatable prices on implants, veneers, and Zoom whitening at all 26 General Dental locations. Crowns and bridges, too. Compare and save on all our low fees. General Dental. Gentle on you and your wallet.
Get in gear for excitement at Foxwoods Resort Casino. You can win the ultimate luxury ride on November 24th, when someone will walk away with a Cadillac XTS guaranteed. Earn entries through November 23rd by playing your favorite slot machines and table games with your Foxwoods Rewards card. Plus, come experience the all-new Grand Pequot Tower. Book one of the new luxurious rooms and discover Foxwoods yourself at Foxwoods Resort Casino. It's all happening right now at the new Foxwoods Resort Casino.
At Volkswagen, we believe everyone deserves a better car. And now, during the Sign and Drive sales event, you're closer to yours than ever. Like the turbocharged Tiguan, the midsize Passat, or the 34 Highway MPG Jetta. And every new 2014 Volkswagen comes with no charge scheduled maintenance, all for practically just your signature. The Sign and Drive sales event is back, and it's never been easier to get a new Volkswagen. Get zero due at signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends December 2nd.
Boston.com Ski and Snowboard Expo presented by Subaru of New England.
Save on ski and snowboard gear.
Ski passes and trips.
Catch the Olympic Air Show in Long Trail Beer Garden.
Ski and Snowboard Expo November 14th through 17th at the World Trade Center. Tickets at onthesnow.com.
On the Health Watch tonight, doubling the number of Americans taking cholesterol-lowering drugs. New guidelines out today identify 4 high-risk groups that should be on these meds.
And as Johnathan shows us, doctors say it is critical to prevent heart attacks and strokes.
Take a deep breath.
64-year-old Joyce Enright has been taking cholesterol-lowering drugs for 7 years.
I just couldn't get it under control by myself, so it was time.
Doctors used to rely on a specific cholesterol level to determine which patients needed the drugs known as statins. Now, new guidelines from the American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology are recommending statins for 4 high-risk groups. The groups include patients with cardiovascular disease, those with a bad cholesterol of 190 or higher, patients between 40 and 75 with type 2 diabetes, and patients between 40 and 75 with a 10-year elevated risk of cardiovascular disease.
We're trying to take the people who benefit most and give them the therapies to start with that benefit most.
But some cardiologists worry more people will be on statins who may not need them.
It can cause muscle pain. It can cause joint pain. It could cause liver problems.
The guidelines also emphasize a heart-healthy lifestyle. In Enright's case, diet and exercise were not enough. Plus, she had a family history.
I'm healthier now. I have a healthier lifestyle.
Doctors say guidelines help, but stress each patient needs to be evaluated individually. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
And when it comes to getting flu shots, Massachusetts has the highest vaccination rate in the country. The Department of Public Health says that 58% of people in Massachusetts were vaccinated. Only about 49% nationwide get the flu shot.
Tonight, a pack of coyotes on the prowl.
Yeah, pet owners right now are on heightened alert. Still to come for us, who is being told to keep a very close eye on their pets.
And limiting the liquids you can take on board planes, well, could be a thing of the past. Still ahead, a look at the technology that could prompt the TSA to change its rules.
And easing restrictions on shipping wine right to your home. Coming up next, the booze bill making its way through Beacon Hill.
She studied hard for the exam and improved her scores. But then, the testing company accused her of cheating.
I just couldn't believe it because that's something that I would never do.
It happens more than you might think. College applicants penalized for success on standardized tests. Tonight on WBZ News at 11.
Today's weather on WBZ is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers.
When you're merging onto US, cover your ears. You want a truck that helps keep the outside out.
Chevy Silverado delivers a quiet cab that's second to nobody in its class. And by nobody, I mean Ram and Ford.
Put Silverado to the test. It's Silverado versus all.
Just announced, trade up to the all-new Silverado All-Star V6 for a total value of $37.50. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Xfinity versus Files. Who comes out on top?
Xfinity gives you 3 times the in-home Wi-Fi speed. Xfinity has way more Wi-Fi hotspots, more shows available on demand, and streaming online. And Xfinity can record 4 shows at the same time. Fios just 2. Fios talks big, but only Xfinity delivers. See for yourself at getallthefacts.com. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Tonight's primetime lineup is brought to you by a video. Find us at avideobank.com.
Hess toy truck and tractor make a powerful team. Both have flashing lights and sounds. The motorized tractor has working front and back pockets to handle all your adventures. Only $27.99 at Hess stations or online. Energizer batteries included. Happy holidays from Hess.
With one unforgettable shopping day, you can own every moment. This is Premium Outlets. Legendary brands, abundant selection, and real savings of 25 to 65% every day. Who says you can't have it all? Premium Outlets. Shop brilliantly.
Danielle Niles joins the AccuWeather team weekend mornings on WBZ.
Top stories at 5:30. Breaking news: an arrest in the 2010 murder of Trudy Hall. Investigators found the remains of the 23-year-old pregnant woman in April of that year. Today, a grand jury indicted her boyfriend, Wilson, on murder charges, and he was also the father of her unborn child.
Local police are joining together to search for a serial robber. Investigators say that this guy has hit a store in Cambridge just last night. It's believed to be his 21st robbery in the area just since February.
And wine lovers rejoicing. You could soon have your favorite white or red shipped right to your door. Today, state lawmakers are considering changing a bill which right now bans wineries from shipping directly to customers here in Massachusetts.
They've been talking about this for a long time, but now supporters say the state will benefit from the additional tax dollars. But as Paul Burton reports, critics say it's just not worth it.
Kip Colmer loves his wine, so much so 15 years ago he opened up his own winery in Lincoln called Turtle Creek.
This particular wine is a great food pairing wine.
He, along with other wine lovers, say it's time for state lawmakers to allow consumers to buy wine from any state they want. Right now, Massachusetts state law prohibits out-of-state wineries from shipping directly to consumers.
You would find that virtually every winery in Massachusetts is in favor of direct shipping.
At the State House on Tuesday, the Joint Committee on Consumer Protection and Professional Licensure heard testimonies from business owners and customers pushing for a winery to consumer bill to be passed. Richard Libby owns his own winery in California.
I can't even get my own samples of wine sent to me at my house in Ipswich. It's time for Massachusetts to get with it.
Protecting the Massachusetts jobs.
State Representative Tess Biliotis says opponents fear direct shipping may affect small retailers and package stores.
We're thinking about the small package stores. We have tens of thousands of employees in the Commonwealth that are working in each city and town in the state. And they're concerned about what happens when the doors to the internet.
But supporters say this is a high-end specialty.
When people can't get access to the wines that they want to have, they don't just instead buy wine from Massachusetts wineries or retailers. They have it shipped to friends in a neighboring state.
I think it's definitely a win-win for consumers. I would argue in the long term it's a win for the wineries in the state.
In Boston, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
Now, as it stands, Massachusetts is one of 9 states that currently prohibits winery to consumer shipments. There is no word on when lawmakers will decide if this bill should be brought up for a vote.
Also, today at the State House, nannies and other domestic workers urged lawmakers to approve a Bill of Rights of sorts. They want to ask for benefits such as sick time, guaranteed rest periods, and severance pay. They're also asking for privacy rights, which would make it illegal for their employers to videotape them on the job or monitor their private conversations.
Well, you know, it's
sometimes you go to the beach and you just dip your toes in the water to see how cold it is. That's what we did today. We dipped our toes into winter. The snowflakes were coming down, just enough to make a nice postcard. This is from Richard in West Barnstable. You see the pine needles all covered with the snow. Little birdhouse in there as well. Most spots saw an inch of snow or less of this. The story now is all about the cold tonight. Current temperatures, 20s to low 30s. They'll dip back in the lower 20s to even some teens on the map by tomorrow morning. So we've got midwinter cold through at least tomorrow. But if you're not into this, well, we've got a rapid warm-up. Thursday and Friday feeling much more comfortable to be out and about outside. And in terms of big storms, there's still really not much on the map. We're likely dry through at least Saturday, if not longer. We'll talk more about that, share some of the pictures from today, and we might see the next blast of cold air coming up in a little bit. Jonathan?
Eric, we'll see you in a few. Thanks. Tonight, there could be a test vote on a bill that would give the government more control over compounding pharmacies like the one in Framingham tied to a deadly meningitis outbreak. In that one, 64 people died and hundreds got sick from a steroid produced at the New England Compounding Center. Now, the House has already passed the bill. The Senate is expected to give it initial approval this evening. NECC, by the way, has since been shut down.
No question, it's a big blow to the Obama administration. The number of people who have actually enrolled in the Affordable Care Act is far lower than they had hoped. As Danielle Nottingham shows us, insurance industry analysts are saying that the low numbers in a Wall Street Journal report are consistent with what they're seeing.
Between 40 and 50,000 Americans have been able to successfully enroll in private insurance through the healthcare.gov website, according to the Wall Street Journal. Industry analysts have confirmed those numbers for CBS News in the 36 states where the federal government is running the exchange. CBS News data from the states operating their own exchanges shows another 50,000 enrollees. But those figures fall well short of the 500,000 the Obama administration initially hoped to have by this point.
The fact that the website has been so challenging and so problematic in that first month means that the enrollment numbers will be even lower than expected.
The administration says it is counting on the numbers to climb as the website improves and the sign-up deadline gets closer. Gail Walensky directed Medicare and Medicaid under the first President Bush. She says these low numbers were expected. What's key is that the administration is transparent about them so insurers can plan future offerings.
It's not critical yet, but it's getting close to being extremely worrisome about what happens if people can't and aren't enrolling.
The White House has promised to release its own figures this week. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Washington.
This week, the Department of Health and Human Services began sending emails to people who've been unable to create an account, inviting them to come back and try again.
Well, the Justice Department just gave U.S. Airways the green light to merge with American Airlines. This would be big. Now, this deal will require the two airlines to scale back their flights at key airports in Washington, D.C. and other big cities. Just a few months ago, the government sued to block this merger, saying that it would restrict competition and drive up fares. And how would you like to hop on your next flight with a bottle of water that you brought from home? It could happen. Because for the past 7 years, travelers have only been allowed to carry on small bottles or containers of liquids onto planes. Larger containers needed to be checked. But an Ohio-based company developed new liquid scanning technology that uses radio frequency and ultrasonic technology to alert security workers of suspicious substances in that fluid. The technology should be in place at London's Heathrow Airport by 2016. There's no word if or when we will see it in airports in America. Paula?
Well, Jonathan, of course they call it Black Friday because it's the day retailers typically get out of the red and into the black. But they might have to change that name soon because we're seeing more and more stores planning to open on Thanksgiving Day, on Thursday. Shoppers in New Hampshire and Rhode Island, for instance, will be able to head into Macy's beginning at 8 o'clock Thanksgiving night. Best Buy stores will open at 6 p.m. Target opens at 8, and the holiday shopping deals at Walmart start at 6. Last year, stores made more than $810 million on Thanksgiving Day. That was a 55% increase from the previous year. But remember, Massachusetts blue laws make it illegal for stores in this state to be open on Thanksgiving.
Protecting your information without remembering a single password. It is possible. Coming up, the rising trend of biometrics.
Plus, something frightening lurking on these dark streets. Coming up, the coyote concerns in one Massachusetts community. TrustedChoice.com. Massachusetts independent insurance agents, protecting the most important things in your life at the best possible price is what it's all about.
Representing Quincy Mutual Fire Insurance Company.
TrustedChoice.com.
Be there for the excitement as the curtain goes up. The sights, the sounds, the dazzling sets, sparkling costumes, the magical music of the orchestra. As Boston Ballet presents Mikko Nissinen's production of The Nutcracker. Traditional, yet reimagined. A holiday treat for the whole family. Opening November 29th at the Boston Opera House. Boston's #1 holiday tradition will sell out. Visit bostonballet.org today. Presented by State Street Corporation.
The Toyota Tacoma. Massive one-piece frame rails. Fully boxed subframe. It's built to face New England's toughest conditions. The question is, can it face its toughest critics? Evidently, yes. The Toyota Tacoma. Not only tough, but an incredible value. Ask someone you know who drives one.
Together we will stand. Every boy, girl, woman, and man. Come on now, people. Come on now, people. Let's work together. Come on, let's work together.
Come on, kids, we gotta go. Oh, now I gotta go. Oh, can you make that to go?
These days, nobody has time to get sick, but MinuteClinic makes it easy to get well. Our nurse practitioners can diagnose and write prescriptions for everything from strep throat to sinus infections with no appointment necessary, so you can feel better in no time.
You guys wanna go to the park?
Yeah! MinuteClinic, the medical clinic in CVS Pharmacy. Accepts Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Find a clinic near you at MinuteClinic.com.
You here for the interview?
Yeah.
Is that?
It is.
Naomi, I take it. I'm Tracy. Your resume is fantastic.
With authentic, expertly crafted roasts and legendary brews, 8 o'clock is the coffee for those who put coffee first.
TrustedChoice.com. It's where you'll find Massachusetts independent insurance agents who specialize in the protection plans you need at the best possible price.
Representing Quincy Mutual Fire Insurance Company.
TrustedChoice.com. There is a pack of coyotes terrorizing a local neighborhood. The animals have killed at least one dog and attacked 2 others. That was just yesterday.
And as our Jim Armstrong explains, people in Wareham are now keeping a very close eye on their pets.
Laura Martins just got the word about a pair of recent coyote attacks in town.
It scared me. I didn't put the dog out all day, and then I put her out for a little while and stayed out there with her.
Especially in the Swifts Beach area, coyotes are on the prowl.
Very scary. Really scary.
Locals agree coyotes have been a threat for as long as anybody can remember. But what's got police concerned now is the fact that the animals seem to be attacking bigger dogs.
Last week, Animal Control here had a report of a pack of 3 coyotes like these attacking and killing a boxer. Then Monday morning, word of a coyote pack trying to kill a pair of full-grown Labradors who were able to get away.
They're getting bad. They're everywhere.
Paul Monahan now walks Barney here with a spring in his step, just in case.
Well, at the woods, exactly. You don't see them, and then the next thing you know, they could be beside you. They just sneak up on you.
John Pacheco knows about that. He's lived here for 13 years, and here's the coyotes' evening howls.
All the time. Always. Almost every night.
And he thinks the coyotes might be behind the recent disappearance of his cat.
Yeah, it was gone. It's gone. It's been gone about 3-4 weeks already.
But as he walks Gizmo on this fall night, he and many other owners say there's not much they can do to fight the coyotes, except to be as aware of them as possible. In Wareham, Jim Armstrong, WBZ News.
Well, a little lady with a lucky birthday. We return, meet the brand new baby girl who made her debut on 11/12/13.
And when Winter cold is on the scene, but if you don't like it, it won't stick around for too long. We'll talk about a warm-up when we come back.
And as we head to break, here's a quick look at what is hot tonight on our website, cbsboston.com. We're back right after this. The biggest, most exciting holiday light show probably won't be at your home.
But don't worry, WBZ has you covered.
It's Boston's best and brightest holiday tradition, the Faneuil Hall Tree Lighting Spectacular, hosted by Johnathan, Eilias, and Lisa Hughes, featuring Paula and Keith Lockhart, November 23rd at 7:30 on WBZ and MyTV38, presented by IDEW Local 103 and NECA.
WBZ is your home for the holidays.
With or without these lights. Oh, you'll lose both.
Affordable braces from the orthodontic specialists at Gentle Dental. Braces as low as $147 per month and no money down at 26 convenient locations. Call today for your free consultation. Gentle Dental. Gentle on you and your wallet. Ooh, now it's love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, now it's love. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Subaru takes you safely on adventures and brings you home memories. Buy a brand new 2014 all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza, well equipped for only $17,895.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Save up to 80%. 18-karat bands that sell elsewhere for $2,700 are $539. 2-karat 3-stone rings and studs are $29.90, and 1-karat studs are $599. Buy diamond and factory direct, the jewelry exchange in Sudbury.
Skiers! Boarders! It's the Boston.com Ski and Snowboard Expo presented by Subaru of New England, November 14th through 17th at the World Trade Center.
Save big, up to 70% on gear and clothing at East Coast Alpine's biggest preseason sale.
Get Expo-only deals on season passes and winter vacations.
Catch the Fall Brawl Competition, Olympic Aerial Show, and Lone Trails Beer Garden.
The Boston.com Ski and Snowboard Expo, Thursday through Sunday, November 14th through 17th at the World Trade Center. Info and tickets at onthesnow.com or see the Boston Globe.
At Jeep, we're giving you everything you need this holiday with Jeep Grand Cherokee, Jeep Wrangler, and an all-new Jeep Cherokee. And that means you can give a little something back. Black Friday starts now at the Jeep Big Finish event. Lease the 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for $359 a month for well-qualified lessees.
Gentle Dental is the easy way to affordable family dental care. Our $57 new patient offer includes cleaning, x-ray, and exam. Compare and save on our low fees at all 26 Gentle Dentals with evening and Saturday hours. Gentle Dental. Gentle on you and your wallet.
Good evening, Mrs. Yes, send that blow. Aren't you sweet?
Licensed phone reps available 24/7. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Now, any day a baby is born, it is special. But for a baby born today, think about the date, 11, 12, 13, maybe just a little bit more special.
One Winthrop family was nice enough to give us a peek at their new, very special arrival.
This is Hazel Mary Viens, born 11, 12, 13 at 9:40 in the morning. She's pretty special to us, so we're happy that she gets a special day to be born on, too.
For Diana and Brian Viens, any day would have been fine to welcome Hazel into the world.
21 inches long and 9 pounds, 12 ounces.
But to have a sequential birthday.
I don't know, I just thought it would be cool having numbers like that.
So it'll be easy for my mom to remember her birthday, which is nice.
Hazel was born one day before the due date.
My mother-in-law called me yesterday and said, you have to have this baby tomorrow because it's 11, 12, 13. I was like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. I definitely did not think she would come today, but she did. So we're excited.
And Brian is thinking he might have some lottery numbers to play.
Let's cross my mind. Maybe.
But I think they've already hit the jackpot.
I hope that her and her sister are going to be best buddies and that she just has a happy life. And I know she will, no matter what her birthday is.
And Hazel joins her 2.5-year-old big sister, Ruby, in the Vans family. So welcome, and no one will ever forget her birthday.
That's an adorable baby.
It's a good-looking kid.
Absolutely gorgeous, yeah.
It is a beauty.
You gotta admit, that is a very cool birthday to have.
Yeah.
Look, 12, 13.
And you could talk about the snowflakes that flew the day you were born.
That's right. As I remember,
Early November.
the first snow of the season.
Some great pictures have been coming in. We always appreciate these. Really shows us the picture of what's going on all across the region. Alex sent this one in from Falmouth, totally covering up the grass there and hanging onto some of the trees. And today was an interesting day because we got all the snow pictures in the morning, and then we started getting the sunset pictures this evening. This is out across Boston. Ben sent this in via Twitter. You can always send the pictures in by email. There's a link right on our website, on our Facebook page, or Twitter. It's easy. It's at Eric Fisher. Love to see it. Great end of the day. The sunsets have been unreal over the last couple of weeks. The reason we got one, you see this little clearing line right in here. It's now working its way through the Boston area. The snow is gone. It's cleared Nantucket. And tonight it's just all about the cold. West, plenty of lake effect action. Some spots here have seen over a foot of snow as that cold air moves across the warmer lake water. Around here, not exactly a blizzard, but we're just sampling winter. We're not diving right into it just yet. Marston's Mills, the winter, 1.3 inches. South Dennis, 1 inch even. About a half inch in Templeton, as well as in Worcester and Boston, just a trace. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed. I set my alarm this morning. I want to see some flakes. I got a couple, but no coating on the ground in Boston itself. Current temperatures, we've got 30s and 20s really everywhere on the map. Cold spot in the northeast, well, you might guess it. It's Mount Washington. It's 1 degree with a 30-degree below zero wind chill. Locally, it's cold enough for us, right around sea level. We've got wind chill values near 19 in Worcester, 26 in Nashua, 25 in Falmouth, and it feels like 27 in Chatham. It's a full-on winter evening. Bundle up if you're heading outside. We'll slowly clear from northwest to southeast tonight. Wind chill back into the teens. It's been a long time since it's been this cold. This is as chilly as it's been for many spots since all the way back in March. We track that clearing line as we head through the evening. By about midnight, still some clouds holding on, some streaks of cloudiness around the Cape and the islands. By tomorrow morning, it's all gone. And through the day tomorrow, it's pretty much unlimited sunshine. Might be a couple of cumulus clouds that pop here and there, but pretty ineffective sunshine. This is when the core of the cold moves overhead. Keene, a high of 32, 37 in Boston, maybe 40 in Nantucket, but we haven't stayed in the 30s in Boston since March 21st. Been a very long time. But as we take a look at the pattern, the jet stream starts to lift and the flow becomes a little bit more progressive as we head into the day on Thursday. So the 30s relegated to just the highest elevations of the northeast, more 40s than anything else, and some 50s start to creep up the megalopolis. We head into Friday, we end the week, even more the cold retreats back up toward Canada. The 50s climb the coast, and even some 60s down toward the mid-Atlantic. So we're not diving in just yet. We've got a little bit of enjoyment to go here. In fact, every day is at or above average after tomorrow. So tonight and tomorrow, just plan for winter. Use the scarves, the hats, the gloves, the whole works. But as we head toward Thursday, we're in the 40s to low 50s. Friday, we're in the mid to upper 50s. And this weekend, I think for the most part, we stay dry. We'll watch a couple of weak impulses, maybe a shower on Sunday. The more significant event is Monday into Tuesday. We've got our fingers crossed. We'll get a good amount of rain from that one.
Do need it. We still do.
It's this look. You gotta look.
No, I'm just happy when we get close to 60 on Friday. I can't get past it.
Yes, I'm not ready to just be all dressed up in 10 layers yet.
Right,
You are.
Coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, a student accused of cheating on a critically important national standardized test needed to get into college.
It's an awful feeling, pretty much, because, you know, you didn't do it, and people are still accusing you and threatening to take the scores, and
that's the problem. A student who says she was wrongly accused is now fighting back against a big testing company, and it's not easy. It's coming up for you tonight on WBZ News at 11 o'clock.
Well, a concert pianist from Spain faces a lawsuit that could keep her from ever playing at home again. Turns out a neighbor who lived below Leah Martin for 4 years says having to listen to hours of piano playing every day caused her psychological injury. She says she suffered sleep disturbances, panic attacks, and pregnancy problems. If convicted, Martin faces 7 years in prison, and she will not be allowed to play again.
Thought we'd heard it all. A fire truck rushing to the scene of a blaze in Memphis had some serious mechanical problems, and this is bad. Watch. Whoa! Yeah, the truck flew across a parking lot, then rammed into that concrete barrier and through a fence. The truck is at least 20 years old. Officials say that heat from the fire may have caused the brakes to fail, and at last check, it doesn't seem anybody was seriously hurt. Well, it's official. One World Trade Center will be the tallest building in the country. Chicago claimed that its Willis Tower is the tallest at 1,450 feet. That's the old Sears Tower. But New York said One World Trade Center will be taller because of the 408-foot spire that sits on top of the structure. Today, the Committee of the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat, yes, there is such a group, which is based in Chicago, said that the spire will be a permanent part of the building and should be considered as part of the height. So New York wins.
Well, the days of remembering multiple passwords for your phone, computer, and other devices could be coming to an end. From the new iPhone with the fingerprint sensor to computers that recognize your handprint, your voice, or your face, biometric recognition is becoming more common. Experts say biometrics are safer and provide an extra layer of security that numbers and letters just can't.
Hanging up on the telemarketers.
Straight ahead, the new rule that could stop some of those annoying robocalls and texts. Now here are Jack and Lisa. They're going to look at what's coming up at 6.
Well, Paula and Johnathan, he is very much in demand and trading politics for academia.
And coming up on our 6 o'clock news, the story WBZ broke Mayor Menino's new job and what he plans to do with the knowledge he's gained in the last 20 years.
And more on our breaking news, an indictment in the murder of Trudy Hall 3 years after she disappeared. We just spoke with the suspect's attorney, what he's telling us about this development.
After 30 great years in business,
Beautifully practical and practically beautiful Cadillac SRX.
Lease this 2014 SRX for around $369 per month. Visit NewEnglandCadillac.com for this attractive offer.
Sometimes, less is more, especially when it comes to knee surgery. See this apple represents your knee. With total knee replacement, the entire surface has to be removed. But with the Oxford Partial Knee from Biomet, you keep up to 75% of your healthy knee for a more rapid recovery with less pain, more natural motion, and a lifetime implant replacement warranty. The new study also shows Oxford patients were more than twice as likely to be satisfied with their ability to perform daily activities compared to total knee patients. Not all patients are candidates for partial knee replacement. Risks include, but are not limited to, loosening, dislocation, fracture, wear, and infection, any of which can require additional surgery. Only your surgeon can tell if this surgery is right for you. Why get a total knee if all you need is a partial? The Oxford Partial Knee. For a surgeon in your area, go to oxfordknee.com.
after 30 great years in business, Bernie and Phil have 2 words for you. Thank you.
It's our anniversary, but you get the gifts.
Buy a dining room and get a $200 supermarket gift card. It's our way of saying
Thank you.
If you hate those annoying telemarketing calls, who doesn't? They may be coming less often.
They come at the worst time, don't they? As our David Wade shows us, a new law is now in effect, giving consumers much more control over when their phone rings.
Hello, it is urgent.
It's called the Do Not Call Registry. Do not call. But it doesn't always stop them.
It's a solicitor.
All those unwanted robocalls and texts.
There are millions of people that are victimized by illegal robocalls.
But now new FCC rules require businesses to get your consent, either written or electronic, before making that pre-recall or sending that telemarketing text.
So it used to be when you provided your number to an entity, that in effect means that you consented to receive automated communications from them.
If companies can't prove they have your consent, you can sue for up to $1,500 per call, per text. If you're not up to the hassle of a lawsuit,
This is a do not call number, and I'm going to report you to the FCC.
filing a complaint just might be your next best option. Robocalls must also now allow you to opt out immediately through an automated menu. Of course, these changes won't stop all illegal robocalls. So if you'd like to file a complaint, go to our website, cbsboston.com. On there, we have a link to the FCC. I'm David Wade, WBZ News.
Well, don't go anywhere. We have much more still ahead.
That's going to do it for us at 5 o'clock, but the news at 6 starts now.
Up
politician, next a professor. It's a story WBZ broke. Mayor Menino's new job after he leaves City Hall.
The first snow of the season is behind us now. We get to wait for a warm-up when we may approach 60 degrees.
State workers getting a pass at the tolls even after they found a new job.
Why should we have to pay for it and they don't?
Everybody else is paying their fair share. It's not right.
The free ride, something needs to end.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 6 starts right now.
And breaking news tonight, an arrest in the murder of a pregnant Nantucket woman. Tonight, prosecutors say they have their man. The father of the woman's unborn baby is now charged with her murder. I'm Jack Williams.
I'm Lisa Hughes. Trudy Hall vanished on Cape Cod in 2010. Her remains were found in Falmouth last year.
Jim Smith joins us live in Chelsea, where police arrested Quizelle Wilson. Jim.
Jack, investigators have been working on this case for well over 3 years, and today that work paid off when they made that arrest here in Chelsea. This story all began back in July of 2010 when 23-year-old Trudy Hall was reported missing by her mother. Trudy was from Nantucket. She came from the island and checked into a hotel in West Yarmouth, but after that she vanished. Police found her rented car a few days later with blood and bullet casings inside. Then, in April of 2012, her body was found in some woods in East Falmouth. 21 months after her disappearance, she'd been shot multiple times and was pregnant at the time of her death. Now, right from the start, investigators focused on Trudy Hall's former boyfriend, Quizelle Wilson, who investigators suspected was the father of Trudy's unborn child. He was questioned at length by police, who also at one point removed evidence from his home, but never arrested until now. Tonight, the DA says one of the first phone calls he made was to Trudy's mother.
She's doing as well as can be expected under these circumstances, and I just hope that this small step in the process provides some measure of peace.
Quite curious to see what it is that they're suggesting has occurred over the past year or better that leads to the indictment today.
As we said, Wilson was picked up today here in Chelsea after his indictment by a grand jury on a variety of charges, including murder. He's being held right now by state police, pending an arraignment at some point in Barnstable Superior Court. Live in Chelsea tonight, Jim Smith, WBZ News. Back to you, Lisa.
Jim, thank you. Well, as promised, the wintry weather arrived today with the very first snowflakes of the season. No shoveling needed out there, but this was the scene in Boston this morning. Very fluffy flakes when it all changed from rain to snow in Boston. And take a look at this. Definitely enough to slow down drivers. This was the situation this morning in Needham during rush hour. Our camera picked this up on 128. Much slower speeds than normal out there. And then we take a look at the beauty of it. This comes to us from Worcester. It inspired some wishful thinking in kids who were hoping for a snow day. And for a while this morning, the school closings page was the popular spot on CBSBoston.com. All the schools stayed open. Our chief meteorologist, Eric Fisher, joins us now. And Eric, quite a roller coaster we're on.
Yeah, I can just picture all the kids, right? Just watching TV, clicking online, saying, please, can it be the first one? And I do know that some were able to get outside and enjoy. Here's the proof, photographic proof. And the snow was coming down in Cape Cod as well. Sagamore Beach, they must have been an all-hands-on-deck operation to scoop every inch of snow that was on this lawn, but they got a snowman out of it. Little peanut next to that snowman, enjoying the morning. Well, the cold air is the story now, pouring in out of Canada. Temperatures are well below average, a feel of midwinter, and tonight those temperatures continue to go down. Upper teens north and west of Boston, about 25 in the city. That'll be as cold as it's been since mid-March, down to about 29 in Chatham and 21 in Taunton. Now we look toward tomorrow, and it'll be another very chilly day, but after that, a big-time warm-up. Lisa mentioned that roller coaster. We'll talk about the rest of the week and the upcoming weekend in a few minutes. Jack?
All right, Eric, thank you so much. Now let's get to a story that was first on WBZ. Tom Menino's next move. Boston's mayor is headed to Boston University. You know, schools throughout the Boston area all wanted the mayor, but Mayor Menino has decided to go with BU. Well, John Keller broke this story for us, and he joins us right now. John?
Well, Jack, Tom Menino clearly enjoyed the guessing game and the competition for his services, but now it's official. Menino will be leaving City Hall to do what he loves best, talking about what makes cities work, at a school that bears the name of the city he loves best. From the moment he announced the end of his 20-year run in City Hall, Menino's next step has been a subject of much speculation, even by the man himself.
First, I could be making donuts at a donut shop.
But the donut world will have to wait, as Menino will co-direct Boston University's new Initiative on Cities, an urban affairs think tank. We need an academic to show us the way. Menino was in high spirits when we caught up with him today, wielding a new cane made out of a Louisville slugger.
That's a great opportunity for me to folks in urban areas of this country. But yeah, give my things I've learned in 20 years and how you can make a city work.
Big bucks?
No big bucks. I'm not in for the dollars. I'm in it to further the knowledge of other individuals in the society.
So you're working for free?
No, I'm not going to say that.
I think that's pretty cool.
On the BU campus, students and faculty were pleasantly surprised by the news.
I'm an anthropology student, so I just came out of the political science building, but they share a department, so...
Well, after 20 years as mayor, he probably knows a little something about anthropology.
I would assume he knows a little bit about everything.
I'm a social worker. I work at the School of Social Work, and he's been very positive to things that concern us, including work with older adults, so I'm very pleased.
Now, Menino won't be teaching classes, but he will have the title professor and expects to be interacting often with students. He says his deal with BU has been thoroughly vetted to avoid any conflicts of interest. And he told reporters we can still call him at 5 a.m. if we need comments, but he'll be delivering them as a pundit, not a politician, and hopefully not with that baseball bat cane. Lisa, back to you.
John, thank you. Other news tonight, the trial of the Boston Marathon bombing suspect could last for at least 3 months. As Christina Hager shows us, that's what prosecutors revealed today as they argued to keep holding Johar Tsarnaev under very strict conditions.
The alleged Boston bomber did not show in federal court today, but attorneys spent more than an hour grappling over his upcoming case. Johar Tsarnaev expected to stand trial next fall. Although his defense team says it needs more time, attorneys expect a grueling 3 months. Add another 2 months if prosecutors decide to pursue the death penalty. U.S. Attorney Carmen Ortiz expected to weigh in on that this week, but ultimately the choice lies with her boss, Attorney General Eric Holder.
The fact that it is terrorism brings it to a federal level and then, therefore I think justifies, the death penalty.
I would say life without the possibility of parole makes more sense.
Also on the table, will the defense ask to have the trial moved outside of Boston? Attorneys have until the end of February to decide. Here are some opinions on Twitter. Kay Curbs. I don't think it would be possible for him to get a fair and impartial trial in Boston. Another says, I'd have no problem with this case being moved. Much rather the defendant not having an excuse for an unfair trial appeal.
I think Massachusetts people are known for their jurors. I've tried 50 cases here in this Commonwealth. They're known for their independence. They're known for their intelligence. They're known for their fairness.
Tsarnaev's attorneys also asked that some of the strict prison restrictions on him be eased so his defense team can visit him and prepare his case. No decision on that, but another hearing was set for February. In Boston, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
Well, he's on the run tonight, but maybe not for too much longer. Cambridge just released a picture of a man wanted in a string of convenience store robberies. Now take a look. This crystal clear picture is from last night in Cambridge. It clearly shows the man police say has robbed more than 20 convenience stores in 5 different communities, this dating back to February. They say the thief is determined and he's dangerous.
When he strikes quick, he's out. In some cases, he'll show a firearm. Other times, he's actually pulled it out. So he's taking small amounts of cash. So he's got to feed whatever habit he has. So that's why he's doing multiple robberies. So we don't think this guy's going to stop until we actually catch him.
Here's another look at the guy. Police say, do you recognize him? If you do, give them a call.
Coming up here on WBZ News, free rides for highway workers even after they quit their job. The perk that's costing taxpayers a lot of money.
A family's home catches fire during the night and wait until you hear the unusual way the fire started.
Tom Brady and the Patriots back to work the tough test they're going to face in the Monday night spotlight.
About 36 hours of winter cold to go and then a big warm-up for the end of the week. We've got the details in a few minutes.
While New England weather is is always changing, there's one thing you can count on. The WBZ Mobile AccuWeather Lab, bringing you to the middle of the storm and tracking weather right in your neighborhood. The WBZ Mobile AccuWeather Lab, powered by your New England Chevy dealers.
Life is full of surprises. Some good, some not so good. Don't get caught by surprise. Ask an independent agent about safety insurance enhanced coverage for auto, home, and business. Safety insurance will help you manage life's storms.
Hi, we can't come to the phone. I'm renovating the bathroom, and Kate and the kids are staying with their mom. I got guys in here tearing down walls and putting in bathtubs, so leave a message and I'll get back to you when I can.
Oh, honey, hope you're not working too hard. Miss you.
At Bathfitter, we know you have better things to do with your time. One-day installation, no mess, no fuss, and a lifetime warranty. Call now for a free in-home estimate or visit our website and discover what millions of people already have.
There are a number of new reasons to look at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts for your Medicare options. The name you know so well now has options you may not know, starting with new Blue Cross Medicare plans as low as $0. These plans include everything from routine annual physicals to hearing and vision exams, and prescription drugs. And we have an affordable individual dental plan too. Call us for information and to request our free guide to Medicare. And of course, these plans all come with the peace of mind of Blue Cross. So call 1-888-800-8445 for your free copy of your guide to Medicare with no obligation. You've got a number of reasons to go with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Skiers! Boarders! It's the Boston.com Ski and Snowboard Expo presented by Subaru of New England, November 14th through 17th at the World Trade Center.
Save big, up to 70% on gear and clothing at East Coast Alpine's biggest preseason sale.
Get Expo-only deals on season passes and winter vacations.
Catch the fall brawl competition, Olympic aerial show, and Long Trail Spear Garden.
The Boston.com Ski and Snowboard Expo, Thursday through Sunday, November 14th through 17th at the World Trade Center. Info and tickets at onthesnow.com or see the Boston Globe.
I love working in my service department. We're #1 in the universe, and my rates, they're sky high too. And sometimes I even do the repairs right. Sometimes.
These I guys, you know, one has many, many dealerships. The other thinks his costs are less. They actually charge every penny. If you want great sales, service, price, and advice, come to Cambridge Honda. Why?
Cambridge cares about you. I don't think this car is going to be ready today.
Food, water, and some other vital supplies are starting to make their way into the Philippines tonight, but areas devastated by Typhoon Haiyan will be struggling for a long time. The U.S. military, the Red Cross, and other organizations are bringing in food and medicine, but as you can imagine, getting it to people and to Cloven is still difficult. The UN is calling for an additional $300 million to help typhoon victims. Many of you have asked, how can I help? Well, you can go to our website, cbsboston.com. We have direct links to the Red Cross and to other organizations that are mobilizing relief efforts. Jack?
So, Lisa, listen to this. Make you a little angry. New at 6, driving on the Mass Pike and Tobin Bridge. You and I have to pay the tolls when we go over or on. But hundreds of Mass Department of Transportation workers, past and present, are traveling toll-free. You know, the Turnpike Authority used to let employees pass through the tolls without paying. The perk was abolished for new employees. But as Kent McLeod shows us, it's still costing taxpayers a whole lot of money.
Hundreds of current and former state workers are still sailing through the toll booth for free, and that's not sitting well with folks who pay.
The select few get the free pass and everybody else pays? That doesn't make sense.
When the Massachusetts Turnpike Authority was folded into MassDOT, employees and retirees of the defunct agency were allowed to carry over all their vacation and sick time, along with other benefits. One such perk was a free state-issued transponder, Fastlane at the time, a holdover from the days when pipe workers simply didn't pay for tolls.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
Puzzling, says this government watchdog, when the State House is scrounging for cash to cover red ink at the Transportation Department.
It defies any rational explanation as to why they've let this continue.
Especially after state officials sacked the perk for new employees back in
2009 and pledged to scrap free rides even for those grandfathered in.
I hope that the legislature catches up and does what they said they would do.
As first reported by the Boston Herald, during the last 6 months, some 667 employees, a combination of Turnpike alum now with MassDOT and retirees, got toll freebies worth more than $69 grand.
Don't they get plenty of perks as it is? Well, actually, we have to pay for it and they don't.
Hundreds more current toll takers also have free transponders, but state transportation officials argue those are needed to get them to and from their jobs safely. Thing is, they can use the free pass 24/7.
It's not right.
But, barring a reversal, many of those with free transponders will keep them for life. Along the pike, Ken McLeod, WBZ News.
Hey, a pal of mine from Nantucket said, boy, it was a miserable weather down there. Now, I have mixed feelings about that because it is Nantucket, you know.
Is it ever really miserable on Nantucket?
No, pull into your Rolls Royce and roll out the window.
It was miserable on the pike this morning and on most of the roadways. Let's get back to Eric Fisher. Eric, we're going to like this more when we're on the upside of the roller coaster.
Yeah, I think so. Jack cracking me up there. Yeah, just go to Sizzle Brewery. Have a good time out there at the snowy weather out on Nantucket. This is a picture in from Richard, who sent it in from West Barnstable. Perfect. You got the pine needles just coated with the snow, little birdhouse for a splash of color. Today was postcard snow. Didn't create a whole lot of issues, just a little slower traffic this morning. And then we went from the snow pictures to the sunset pictures. Later on this evening, we started rolling in. Hal said this one from Framingham State. Sky on fire right near the horizon. It has just been aces for sunsets over the last couple of weeks. It seems like they've all been perfect. Clearing line is moving in right now from northwest to southeast. The snow is gone from Nantucket and everywhere else for that matter. Off to the west, we do have lake effect snow, so anywhere across the Great Lakes, the machine is cranking right now. Some spots have already seen over a foot. Of course, we didn't see quite that much around here. Marston's Mills is one of the biggest reports that have come in, 1.3 inches of total snow. Worcester, half inch on the hill, and Boston, just a trace. So it was enough to whet our appetite a little bit for the upcoming season, but not exactly one that's shut down the whole region. Temperatures, they're cold. They're in the 20s to 30s really everywhere. Down to the deep south, been snowing down the mountains of Tennessee this evening. This cold plunge is affecting a lot of people. 28 degrees in Worcester. It's right at the freezing mark in Plymouth. So if there is a little bit of moisture out there this evening, just be careful as temperatures continue to dip. They'll freeze over. We haven't had a night like that in quite some time. Wind chills down to 18 in Worcester and 27 in Providence, Concord at 21. So this is something that's more in line with early January or late December than it is the early part of November. We'll clear from northwest to southeast tonight. Wind chills in the teens, lots of layers if you're heading outside. Actual temperatures in the upper teens to low 20s. We'll track the clouds out to sea overnight as we head past midnight, just toward the Cape and the islands, holding on to a bit of cloud cover. It's all gone by tomorrow morning, and it's pretty much unlimited sunshine tomorrow. Maybe a couple of puffy cumulus clouds, that'll be about it. The sun's not going to help us out a whole lot, though. Temperatures, they're staying awful chilly. 35 in Manchester, Boston around 37 or so, 39 in Chatham, and Nantucket around 40. We even stayed in the 30s in downtown Boston, stations at Logan Airport, since all the way to March 21st. That was the first full day of spring, and it's a normal high for early January. And 20s tonight will be the first time since March 22nd as well. But it's not going to stick around for too long. Jet stream starts to lift as we head into the day on Thursday. The 30s will be relegated to the higher peaks of the Northeast, 40s elsewhere, and 50s just starting to sneak up the coast. Then we head toward Friday, and we really start to get into some milder air. All of it just gets flushed out with cold weather. We've got the 50s around here and even 60s down toward the mid-Atlantic. So if you don't love the winter colds, we're not all the way diving into it just yet. In fact, you see your WBZ AccuWeather 7-day forecast, 53 on Thursday, 58 on Friday. We're in the mid-50s on Saturday, which is a little above average. Sunday, maybe a chance of a shower. We'll have to watch that one. Looks like the better chance is late Monday into Tuesday. You can see we definitely will be worrying about snow. Way too warm for that. Jack, Lisa, back to you.
And that is the good news. Eric, thank you. Probably a good thing the Patriots had their break when they did.
Yeah, they're healing and getting ready for a pretty hot team coming up.
It's going to be a tough one. There's no question. And they're underdogs. You know that? Pictures aren't
That works well for them.
Yeah. Who knew? Patriots are getting up for what could be the best Monday night game of the year. They take on the Panthers in Carolina. The Patriots are 1-point underdogs in this game. But they are 10-3 under Bill Belichick coming off the bye week. Now, Levin Reed was down in Foxborough today, and he tells us the Patriots, well, they should be ready.
A week off and back to the grind. The players talked about enjoying the time off.
We had played a lot of football before that, and it was good to, get a little rest, see what we want to work on, and, how we can develop going forward. I rested a couple days. I definitely did some things. I didn't just sit there and just be lazy, but I definitely got a lot of rest this week.
Immediately, the focus turns, though, to Carolina. Tom Brady sees the problems the Panthers' defense can cause.
They won 5 straight. They're great team defense. I mean, everything. They got every stat, every category. You know, third down, red area, the sacks. They turned it over, so they got it all.
Even though this game will get the glitz and glamour, Monday night is not for everyone.
I like Sundays at 4, but I guess Monday night's on the schedule, so that's what we're preparing for. I like 4 the best, though. Why? Just get up, eat, sit around a little bit, then go.
One game into the second half of the season, and this is where the Patriots feel championships are made, and their recent run in the second halves are pretty impressive. Over the last 3 seasons, the Pats are 24-1 in the second half of regular seasons. Their only loss to San Francisco last year. At Gillette Stadium, I'm Levin Reed, WBZ Sports.
All right, Levin, one more note to pass along. When the Patriots play the Texans in Houston on December 1st, that will now be a 1 o'clock start. It was originally set for 4:25. And speaking of Houston, they waived safety Ed Reed today, one of Bill Belichick's favorites. So, things that make you go, In about a half hour from now, John Farrell will find out if he'll be named the American League Manager of the Year. Cleveland's Terry Francona will get a few votes, but Farrell's hopefully going to win it. For more on the Sox offseason, check out Dan Roach's blog on CBSBostonSports.com. Hey, how about the Celtics? Green won their 4th game in a row last night to improve to 4-4 and move into a tie for first place in the Atlantic Division. Great stuff, but also crushing for those fans who'd rather see the Celtics lose so they can have a better draft pick.
You know, all of a sudden, we're 4-4, and we've got the whole world figured out. When this was only like 7 days ago when we were 0-4, so this thing can turn quick. And with our schedule as it continues this month, it can turn real quick. And so you just got to just focus on day to day, game to game, and see how good you can be on that night. And know you always have a chance to win or get beat.
Boy, he just gets it. College hoops, UMass hosting LSU this morning at the Mullins Center at 11 a.m. start for national television. Katie Lalane had 16 points all in the second half. Chaz Williams led the way with 24 points and 9 assists as the Minutemen won it 92-90 to improve to 2-0 on their young season.
How about that?
There you go. We win. That's what we do around here.
We like it. Thank you very much, Steve.
Well, the CBS Evening News is coming up next at 6:30.
Scott Pelley joins us live again from New York City with the preview. Scott?
Jack and Lisa, great to be with you in Boston. One of our stories on the broadcast tonight is the swearing in of Caroline Kennedy to her first government job, answering her father's famous question of what she would do for her country. We'll have that, the rest of the world news, and an update on the typhoon from the heart of the devastated area, all for you on the CBS Evening News in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Scott. And still to come here, gambling on Martha's Vineyard. Who's planning to build a casino on the island with or without the state's approval?
CBS Tonight, a person of interest, 3-episode event begins.
I received numbers this morning.
You're the best partner I ever had.
Detective Fusco, are you all right?
I'm sorry, Lena. Hi.
Hi.
Do you do free exam and x-rays?
Exam and x-rays? Yes.
Free?
No.
No free exam and x-rays.
Exam, yes. X-rays, yes. Free? No.
You're nodding yes, but saying no.
Yes to no. No.
Okay, hold it. Let's try something new.
Are my first exam and x-rays free?
Completely free.
Free?
Zip, zero, nada.
Nice.
Aspen Dental is doing whatever it takes to give America a healthy mouth, like offering free exams and x-rays. Call 1-800-ASPEN Dental, because your mouth is our mission.
Get in gear for excitement at Foxwoods Resort Casino. You can win the ultimate luxury ride on November 24th, when someone will walk away with a Cadillac XTS guaranteed. Earn entries through November 23rd by playing your favorite slot machines and table games with your Foxwoods Rewards card. Plus, come experience the all-new Grand Pequot Tower. Book one of the new luxurious rooms and discover Foxwoods yourself at Foxwoods Resort Casino. It's all happening right now at the new Foxwoods Resort Casino.
Meet Mike and Sarah from New England. They're
Prius gives them 50 mpg, which saves them over $6,000 in fuel costs over 5 years versus the average car. Toyota Prius, a very, very smart choice. Ask someone you know who drives one.
Now, in less time than you ever imagined, you can breathe new life into your basement and add much-needed living space to your home with the Owens Corning Basement Finishing System. Did you know installing drywall can take months? But our system is installed in about 2 weeks with virtually no mess. So in practically no time, you'll not only finish your basement, you'll transform your home. Call 1-800-BASEMENT now for a free video and design consultation. It's a fact. Nobody knows basements better than Owens Corning. Has toy truck and tractor make a powerful team. Both have flashing lights and sounds. The motorized tractor has working front and back buckets to handle all your adventures. Only $27.99 at Hess stations or online. Energizer batteries included. Happy holidays from Hess.
Well, tonight we're learning that sawdust is to blame for a damaging fire in Hanson. It started this morning and it burned the back of the house on Pleasant Street and then into the attic. 6 people were in this home, including 3 kids. They all got out safely. Fire department says sawdust left over from a sanding project on the rear deck spontaneously combusted.
The first casino to open in Massachusetts could be on Martha's Vineyard. The Wampanoag tribe of Aquinnah made a surprise announcement today that it has received federal approval to put a casino on tribal land on Martha's Vineyard. The Wampanoags of Aquinnah are different from the Mashpee Wampanoags. They want to build a casino in Taunton. Well, the Vineyard tribe can build a casino without the state's permission, but it would only be able to offer limited games. The tribe spokesperson told the Globe today they'd like to have a small casino up and running within just a few months. And the developers of Suffolk Downs opened talks today with the city of Revere. Suffolk may redesign its casino plan to keep the facility entirely in Revere, not East Boston. Remember last week, East Boston residents voted down the casino proposal, but Revere residents said, come on over.
Well, reality TV is again setting its sights on the Boston area.
Coming up next, Mark and Donnie Wahlberg and their new show giving viewers an inside look at that famous family.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. We're dedicated to helping our members live happier, healthier lives.
She studied hard for the exam and improved her scores. But then, the testing company accused her of cheating.
I just couldn't believe it because that's something that I would never do.
It happens more than you might think. College applicants penalized for success on standardized tests. Tonight, on WBZ News at 11.
At Mako, we're experts in both collision repair and auto painting. We've serviced over 17 million cars and offer a nationwide warranty. So come to the body shop that's easy, affordable, and reliable. Mako, America's body shop.
Ooh, now it's love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, now it's love. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Subaru takes you safely on adventures and brings you home memories. Buy a brand new 2014 all-wheel drive Subaru Outback. Well equipped for only $23,795.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Tell her how your love has grown with 1/3 carat journey pendants for $99. The Jewelry Exchange imports and produces diamonds direct and manufactures jewelry using the latest technology. Compare Tiffany's 1/4 carat diamond 18 carat band for $2,700 with the Jewelry Exchanges for $539. 14 carat is $349, 10 carat $199. 3-stone tennis bracelets are $299 and 1 carat studs are $599. Save up to 80% by buying diamond and factory direct. The Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
You have peripheral neuropathy. I described the pain in my legs. The other doctors I went to, they prescribed medications. Gabapentin, Lyrica, Johnathan, Cymbalta. All I wanted was for pain to stop. What I wanted was New England Health and Wellness. A team of doctors with a new treatment that will give you your life back. That's New England Health and Wellness. And end the pain. It's all I wanted. Call now to
speak with one of our specialists. New England Health and Wellness, 978-788-9355.
Welcome to Eastern Bank. How can I help you, Mr. Wolford?
I'd like to make a deposit, please.
Great. What do you have today?
Just a few things. She's a princess.
This year, Eastern Bank is teaming up with Toys for Tots.
Big deposit today.
So please, bring a new, unwrapped toy to any Eastern Bank branch, and let's all make the holidays a bit brighter for families who need it most.
At Mako, we're experts in both collision repair and auto painting. We've serviced over 17 million cars and offer a nationwide warranty. So come to the body shop that's easy, affordable, and reliable. Mako, America's body shop.
On foot patrols like this, it is a daily reality. Afghans out in front, backed up by American soldiers.
A world of original reporting on the CBS Evening News.
Tonight at 11 on WBZ News, a student accused of cheating on a critically important test that's necessary to get into college. She's crying foul, and she's not the only one. Tonight at 11, just how many kids are being accused of cheating every year, and why it's so hard to get to the truth. A lot of people are going to like this. Mark and Donnie Wahlberg are coming home for a new reality show.
Yeah, the Hollywood Reporter says the Wahlberg brothers will produce and appear in a reality show that focuses on their brother's restaurant in Hingham called Wahlburgers. The show will go beyond the scenes of the restaurant. The family premiere on A&E in Janvier.
Can't wait. Thanks for being with us tonight. That's what we call it here at WBZ.
Well, you know, little French, isn't there?
Oh, just